So technical issues aside, let's resume. So over here, we're gonna see. Okay, let's not spoil the fight here. So we're gonna see like Field are they're anticipating like the Torb goop to kind of keep it family friendly, but we're gonna see like the Torb goop like be really detrimental because it can just like hold here, and then Torb can just like splooge everywhere, and that just makes it really hard without a defensive ult. So, like, I don't really like what they did this fight. Like, they just ran it down main, bad. But what Fuel can do is they can either try to play slow, farm the beat, and the beat will make this goop less of a worry. They could EMP, beat, use bomb if needed, and then like for the retake, you can like use them primal and win from there. Or another option is they could try to set up a more like less committal and they could try to EMP bomb and just try to set up like a less committal like engage, and that means that if Torb, once they do get the kills, even if Torb like goops everywhere, instead of like committing and like providing something for Torb to shoot at, you just instead run it down main now they kill like 2 or 3, and you can force players like the remaining players to contest point, which you should be able to finish off. So they have two options here that I think are good, but they chose the bad option. And why is this bad? So Fiora are forcing point. Fiora are like, hey, come at us. We're going to EMP you if you try to like drop and contest. But here's the problem. Look at how many ticks they have. 0. So they can just literally give ticks and like spam fuel, force them to start using cooldowns. And Jexay will have beat, but they have Hanzo, and one good Hanzo shot, as we see here, can just end this entire ordeal. Especially like when they're just running it down main, and their comp isn't really good at like clearing these angles first, providing like a safer space for them to force the point. They're not really good at doing that. They're like a brawl comp, and like unlike they don't have like the utility of like a Rein shield, so they can't block this angle without like using DM, and you don't want to use DM. Sure, I can contest this angle, but they not Kai, like Hanbin can contest this angle, but you also have the Torb to worry about as well. And not to mention, like Bap and also they're taking angles to try to like punish this. And well, that's all but like Hanzo, Torb, Bap, that's like two angles you're not gonna be able to like contest without committing. And like if you commit, then you're not gonna get as much value from EMP. Like you can kill them, which is good, but like ideally you want EMP like the fattest clump of players and commit every resource to it. So in which case you won't be able to do because you have to contest those angles. So that's why running it down main is just a bad decision from Fuel. And they lose Sparkle, they lost their source of damage. Even if they win this, they can't win the second fight because they have no damage. It's easy as that. And Doha, and they do EMP bomb, but you see it's a really flaccid EMP bomb. Like he throws it direct. Well, this was like good from Pelican, I guess. We're gonna see. Okay, why can Doha set up like a bit better? Like he had EMP and he's still trying to spam them out. Should just try to like set up for it. Like he does like hack Hawk, which makes it harder for them to heal for Kai, but on the other hand, this happens. I'm not sure which one I like better. Which one of the monkey's paw do I like better? So we see this fight lost. Like Fuel just literally threw that fight because they just ran it down main. And over here, they're gonna switch like a Doom, like Sim Doom comp, which is okay. Against this comp, it's fine. Like, it does work well against, like, their more poke elements, but Hanzo is, like, one of the better, like, poke heroes right now, so. They have beat, they almost have coal. They're probably just gonna farm. They have the coal. And they're just gonna coal in. Now, they do have the rally though, and the rally's gonna make Rain pretty hard to kill, so they need to get like a clean like engage over here. Or if they don't get the clean engage, then they have to stabilize. They have to stabilize, wait for Doom cooldowns to come back, and then go in. But like over here, they beat engage? Why would you beat engage this? Well, like, once your Doom cooldowns are out, then the remaining shields that you have are basically useless. You want to be stabilizing anyways. And worst of all, look at this. This is a really good ult against, like, this plan. So, like, why not save the beat for the dragon where you need to, and, like, use a coal for as the offensive tool in this fight? I don't know. This is a throw beat. And we're gonna see if Sparkle gets, like, elimination here. Okay, so first of all, like, I'm not sure why they didn't just, like, you know, literally just try to shoot Hawk here before engaging. It's not like this comp can tempo engage onto you. You have speed, they don't, so you can perfectly just stand over here, shoot Hawk a bit, and that frees this, like, staging area. And then, like, you can, like, then look to have Han Bin DM, and Sparkle can approach from this angle instead of, like, from main, which is good. But they're punching down main. They pop the beat instead of the coal, which is questionable, to say the least. And this means there's nothing to prevent this plan. In fact, they actually get killed before. Oh, this pin. But, like, feel they threw that with a bad plan. And they kill Massa, but this is gonna matter. This dragon plus all the pressure from Rain is just going to be devastating to this fight. So feel they fuck up fight planning again. Okay, now we're actually gonna switch to Brig, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, they're just not using a utility of Lucio. They don't need to switch. So over here, again, shoot Hawk. We can just like force out Hawk. Well, I mean, actually, it's gonna be a bit more dicey here because of like the window coming up and like they have Lucio, so they could just like try to ignore Hawk a bit. They do force out Hawk before like engaging, which is good. But like Rain, they're gonna try to take a tempo engage here. They have the Lucio, and feel they do kite this. Okay, let's see like Rain's tempo engage here. Because, like, on paper, this comp can, like, not only absorb the engage and win, but because, like, you're running Sim, which, instead of, like, more explosive hero, you're running Torb, which, even though he has overdrive, isn't as good as, like, a Doom Punch, for example. And, like, Sim does require sometimes, like, charge up, so like, while her TP is a really good utility in these types of fights, she isn't gonna do the damage necessarily, so... So they go over to tempo engage. Okay, no, wait, this is the wrong time. And so if they're... It looks like this is a bit spontaneous, to be honest, but like over here, I want to see someone approach from this side, and maybe you can even... Well, it's gonna be a bit risky. It's gonna be a bit risky. You could even like try to like set up some TP cheese here and Pinsler, but right here they don't really have the map control required to like catch feel off guard. And they do have Pelican for that angle, but that isn't enough. So they didn't like really do their homework. Not to mention like this comp is just better at like close range brawls. It's Torb versus but Torb versus like Doom, but on the other end, also Brig is a bit better at the defensive like situations, but in terms of like overall utility, and if you do have like something you can engage upon, then Lucio just means they can't kite it. Or maybe okay, let's take a look at this again. Or maybe like they didn't wait for fuel to come in enough. Oh, not this clip. Did they? Did they wait for fuel to come in enough? Like, why was fuel able to kite that so easily without a Lucio? It wasn't easy because of the goop, but... I mean, they did come in enough. I think the main difference was just the lack of map control there. If they're able to teleport Pelican to, like, over here and put the Molten Core over here, then that would be really, really nice. Like, when you're using ults like, you know, Torball, what else? When you're using ults like Torbolt, like anything that's kiteable, Han, like Dragon Strike, then you should strive to put it behind them if possible, not just onto them, behind. And then you put some pressure from the front so they're forced to kite, but they're kiting into your ult. That's best use of it. But over here, let's see what happens. Why did Fuel just lose 2, like, off the bat? So, they're stabilizing a bit. They have full DM. That's probably their try to go in. They should know they have a window and they're looking to window Fire Strike. They should be tracking that. But... a waste of DM. That was just waste. Like, you're not eating anything. You're eating like a Sim Orb, which can easily block with shield, but you can't block this with a shield. And I'm not sure if anyone was even tracking that. I think Hawk might have even tracked that. Like Hawk like literally just said 3, 2, 1. Hanbin has stopped using DM. He's gonna have a cooldown. Well, he didn't say all that, but Hawk no DM or something, and like boom. Not Hawk, like Hanbin no DM and boom. So this is bad DM management. Not to mention if they knew they had window, it's probably safer to try to set up like some TP onto like that high ground, if possible. Okay, so we see Fuel throw another fight. They're gonna switch to Lucio, which is better. They have like the Sim Wall. I'd say on the balance they have better ults, especially with the window and the bomb as coming up. They're gonna run it down main. Routing tower to forward barrier. Why? Like you have the ults to fight there. I mean like they might have wanted to use the window, so like maybe they teleport over here and then they just put a window here, try to spam, but on the other hand you can just literally teleport like past it, so I mean, it will force out TP in that case, but they're gonna window from this angle, which... Did they see Hawk use boosters here? No, they didn't. But like, this is so easy to just close the distance, especially with speed. And right here, it looks like they're just willing to poke. But Doha was busy placing turrets. This is gonna be a waste of time. And this Sim Wall is just... It's just like purely defensive. Instead of like, you know, putting the Sim Wall this way and potentially like splitting up members of Rain. Now, Sparkle does kill Iris because of this nice like pincer. So nice pincer from Sparkle here. Which does, like, give him the high ground to use as well, which is really good. So, really good from Sparkle. Now that they killed their flex support, everything's equal now. So really good from Sparkle. Really good play. But how did Jexay die? Okay, let's take a look at this fight like a bit more in depth. So we're gonna see this pincer attack from Rain as well. So both sides have pincers. Sparkles' pincer is probably better because of like the high ground positioning and the access to like more backline targets and like Ryan as well. But oh, it was the shatter. What was Jexay doing? How did Jexay die? It wasn't even the shatter, it was the bomb. Ugh. So they lost Lucio. It's still winnable. You're like losing Lucio's probably going to be. It's still significant, but it isn't as bad as losing your flex support. Because if you lose your flex support and Brawl, the fight's over. If you lose your main support, you still have a chance. Especially when you're not looking to like attack. If like Fuel was back here and they had no Lucio, then that would just be a reset. And Fearless dies as well. How did Fearless die as well? I didn't expect Fuel to lose so many. Oh, he got pinned. So first of all, did he have to block this? Oh, he wanted to try to block it for Doha. Oh, but he gets pinned. Oh, no. And without your main tank and no ticks on point, that's a GG's, 2 CP.
30 seconds.
And Sparkle's gonna get staggered out, and that should be a game. So you'll have no significant ults, but Rain have Simwall. I don't consider Shatter to be one because like, you know, the Simwall is just gonna prevent you from getting too much value from it anyway, so. So he beat the high ground. Fearless gets Hawk with it. But like, this is just gonna be too much of an advantage. So we're gonna see what happened. We're not just gonna say, hey, they lost. Well, first of all, they don't have Sparkle, but they have the Simwall, but more importantly, let's take a look. Like, they have to touch point instead of like playing the more, probably like the more offensive and better option of like going onto the backline itself, putting more pressure on them. So they have to like go for the front, which will allow the backline to actually spread out a bit, because once they know like they're committed, they committed speed, for example. That they don't have to commit speed, by the way, but okay, they commit amp, so that's questionable. But like once they know that that's the case, then they don't have to worry and they can just spread out and play the map control game more. Okay, amping speed over here? Why? And nope, you aren't gonna make this round count. So now we're going to see the defense from Fuel. I hope this is interesting and not just a roll.
Teleporter online.
So we're gonna have both teams are running Sim Mei. They're holding a choke. You see some TP on the point shenanigans, even though teams are increasingly don't prefer this because, you know, you're just giving up like this whole like entire area for like the enemy team to use. So teams will prefer to like take some of this map control first before forcing point. At least clear it, or maybe even convert to your own use if you have like a hero like. Okay, what's a good example? Like if you have here like Doomfist, for example, then you can have Doomfist like use some of these high grounds, like pretty nice. So like they TP back to point. They don't want to like don't want to like lose point necessarily, even though like they can like play the poke game and let Rain take some ticks. The only problem is that you don't really have that much poke to play with in the first place, so there's that. Like, Rain could TP to point. It would probably just be a straight brawl, but Rain, that also will give the option for Field to play slow. Like, with this plan, like, Rain don't get access to point, but they can try to, like, use this outside position to try to, like, spam them out. So there's like, benefits and downsides to each plan, but Rain are preferring this one. And the reason it's just team strats. Some teams prefer to TP, some teams prefer to TP out. So like TP to point or TP outside the point. I won't say which one is better. I think outside is a bit better, but only because like you can just spam them out a bit. I mean, that's the reason. Over here, as you can see, we have like both teams just going to poke. They're not going to intimidate each other until they see an opportunity because they're running mirror matchups, and like the Sim turrets and Mei is pretty good at punishing any like overtly bad aggression. So that Rain actually see an opportunity somewhere. So we have Pelican poking from an angle. Okay, let's take a look at almost no DM, shields, bit cracked. Still full like DPS cooldowns and like regen burst. Let's see Rain have a cooldown advantage, I think, over here. I don't know, well, Gator doesn't really have that much shield. I don't think this is enough of a cooldown advantage. And do you see a positional opportunity here? I don't really see one. Like, right here, they're trying to threaten Fielder, but Fielder can just literally jump out. They still have Maywall to try to punish that. So this isn't enough of an advantage. What they should be doing is they should be trying to poke them out more. If you'll decide to run down your backline, well, they're running. The more time you get to poke, the less effective it will be. And Shock actually like tried to TP out with a significant cooldown disadvantage, and they failed. So, and like finally they're on defense. They're more scared to do that in the first place. They don't have as many team fights that they can like throw away. So, like, they get punished because there isn't enough of an advantage, and they're pushing onto a point with a shit ton of turrets, and arguably Feel are basically equal in cooldowns. Now, let's see how much work these turrets done. And, like, not to mention the Maywall. Maywall is much better when trying to defend a choke than it is trying to push through a choke, so they don't really have an advantage that they could push here. Okay, which is this engagement was actually puzzling. Because what do you see anything? Do you see like any good opportunity? I don't. Like, sure, you poke them out, but isn't it enough? You need to poke them out some more. Like, you might ask, why couldn't Rain just poke infinitely and try to, like, win the fight? And the reason, Window. Window's an out from, like, just getting poked out mercilessly. So over here, Fielder has Window. Rain are down in ults. Rain should probably be looking to play slow here. Like, when you're down, ults can either look to play slow and try to, like, you know, get more value out of your, like, get some more, like, resources to use, try to farm them, or try to, like, bait out bad aggression, or it could play fast and aggressive and just try to catch them off guard. That's fine as well, but over here, they're teleporting, they take the TP, so they're going for this fast and aggressive style. Now, this does catch them by surprise, and it forces out cooldowns, I think. Okay, let me see. Huntman is full DM. Well, actually, let me take a look at that again. It does make Dova critical, but it doesn't force out anything. Good attempt, though. It does get the TP destroyed, but it gives them some positioning past the choke. So over here, both sides have the window, but they should ideally be playing a bit more passive, like playing over here, until like they have sim wall. And then once they have sim wall, they can now push into this. If they see an opportunity. Otherwise, you just want to keep poking, honestly, with like your window. Now they do kill Doha. And generally speaking, when you do have window, just hurling inside point is more undesirable because you don't have sight lines, really. And Doha just pushed that too hard, so... Over here, we're trying to, like, tempo engage into this. Sure, you have sim wall, but... You should be popping sim wall before engaging, not, like, now. Eventually, you do get a shatter, but they didn't need to lose Doha here. They just popped sim wall early. Instead of, like, allowing the enemy to, like, get an opening. So this is bad, like, mid-fight from Fuel. Alright. So... Wait, do Atlanta actually win this? How? With a 5v4 and you have a defensive ult. And sure. And, like, what you can do here is, honestly, just try to force out... Try like, just... Okay, you don't have your poke anymore, which is... You don't have, like, Doha anymore, which is bad. On the other hand, you could, like, still, like, try to spam, have Sparkle throw in some right clicks. It's a 5v4, so... They lost Diva. That's what they lost. In this case, I kind of want to see, like, a pincer attack. Just to, like, hammer in the fact that they don't have Diva to contest. So, let's see an aggressive pincer attack from Fuel here. And over here, they do kill Massa. This pincer attack's a bit uncoordinated because of the Mei wall, which just kind of forces out some players of the pincer route. So over here, was this avoidable? So they pushed us. Someone should be communicating. Hey, Sparkle. Sparkle teleports like directly into the enemy. Like even if this Mei wall didn't exist, it's still gonna take some time for your core to push up. So Sparkle should be placing the TP over here, and then like wait for the core to push up. It's not like Rain are like a big threat. You kill Massa, and that's good. It means that they have less brawl potential. You can just kite easy, and so like this is uncoordinated. This is an uncoordinated pincer attack that could have worked. So Fuel threw their chance to close out this fight. They do kill Kai though. Atlanta have spawn advantage. And looks like Atlanta are just really trying to like cheese picks on point at this point, but sorry for the pun, but over here, Fuel have like used some cooldowns, like a lot, actually. Oh, Kai. I mean, honestly, like they do get through. They don't eat, like, the Blizzard. Like, they are close to Blizzard, so... Once they got the kill on Kai, I'd probably, like, say... Just try to get out. Okay, Sparkle's kind of in danger here. Okay, let's see what Jet saith. Okay, just try to, like, get out. And, well, Pelican have Mei wall. Pelican has used wall, so... You get out, you farm, like, the Blizzard, you kind of, like, really micro reset, and you just go in with, like a finishing blow. You want that finishing blow. You don't want to just consistently get your cooldowns forced out for no reason. Okay, I'm not sure why Fearless was there. I feel it's trying to speed up. That's my bad. Hanbin couldn't, though. Hanbin had to use the Diva Bomb. Gets off. Whoa. Actually, that was a good freeze from Pelican. They're pushing on the point. they don't have Hanbin, I prefer they wait for Hanbin. Because, like, this was the problem. They're pushing, but they don't have anything to contest this angle. Nor to have anything to, like, kind of, like, pull attention away from, like, main. So it's gonna give, like, even though, like, Field are up one, it's gonna give, like, Rain, like, a map control advantage here. And they would want someone over here, like Hanbin, to take more advantage of this, like, Blizzard. And Hanbin does get the kills eventually, though, so there's that. But a bit uncoordinated from Fuel there. In terms of, like, angles and timing. So over here, Rain and they're equal. Like, Rain Field look like they have a slight hold advantage. Simwall is better than Shatter. And Simwall does counter Shatter to an extent. You're holding at the point itself. I mean, probably they could still hold outside. It's only one tick. This is still gonna give like Rain the opportunity to just bust past the choke and poke Feel out a bit.
60 seconds.
I do want to see like Pelican on this angle again. Just try to force out some cooldowns. Okay, now Rain is just going in. They see an opportunity, and Hanbin isn't aware of the Shatter. He should probably try to play like around this pillar more, but or like take this really greedy angle. That's fine, but like they do catch Hanbin off guard, and Fuel now have a choice to make. Do they want to like commit, try to save Hanbin, try to like take advantage of the distraction, or do they want to like just like sit back, play slow? We don't want to commit now. We're gonna get something soon. But because like if they lose Hanbin, they're fighting 5v6. So like you might as well like take advantage of Hanbin right now and just fall into Rain. In which case, I should honestly be trying to push this harder. So, where's Hanbin? Like the moment you see this hammer down, all eyes are on Hanbin. So it's your chance to just go to the other side and boom, just try to like run over their backline. Because otherwise, you're not playing slow for anything. It's not like you're close to like a window. You need to play fast. Have a disadvantage. You're gonna be at a disadvantage if you wait. So might as well make it count. And only now is Field to get the window. It's too late. And over here, both Rain have a slight ult advantage. Well, Jexay almost has beat, but Rain have 3 ults to use are offensive. They're holding the high ground. This Brawl's probably gonna favor. Oh. So Rain is gonna use this window and try to play for like spam. And there's gonna be a huge incentive for Field to run into this window, so this is a decent plan. Because like they only need to cap one in a core, like the third tick. One into like the 1/3 of the tick. And it's gonna force them onto the point itself. Now that being said, they almost have beat. They could actually just give 1 tick. So I'm not sure why Hanbin's like going in so aggressively. Like Hanbin needs to touch point. Well, that's probably why. Okay, did Sparkle use Sim TP? Hanbin dies in Well, is it unnecessary? Is it necessary? Micro think he could have just fell on the wall and try to like be a bit better. Unfortunately, they have to touch point. Now, they need to take some damage. Farm that beat ASAP. They shouldn't even be hard. Like Fearless shouldn't. Oh, it's over. That peak was costly, but it's over. So yeah. Anyways, hope that was helpful. And yeah, peace out.